evening and welcome to Value Chain News Update. I am Yumana Bagudu with the news. Nigerian's former President Olusegun Obasanjo has advocated for a Just Energy Leadership Council to supervise the advocacy for energy justice in Africa. Obasanjo was speaking at the opening ceremony of the ongoing African Energy Week holding in Cape Town, South Africa.
And at the end of it, if you can kindly join us, we want to establish a Just Energy Leadership Council.
He lamented that a critical missing link identified in Africa's peculiar challenge is that of a just operational framework. The African Energy Week AEW 2023 conference, an exhibition organized by the African Energy Chamber AEC, was officially opened in Cape Town with remarks from industry leaders and experts. On his part, Executive Chairman African Energy Chamber NG Ayuk challenged the continent to evolve a people-oriented transition.
No discoveries are in Nigeria and across the continent. That tells you Africa's time is now, and as CNO international investors, we have a chance in this very moment, in this place, at this time, to select Africa, pick Africa, choose Africa, and drive up energy for its children, its people, and also be part of that global energy discourse that feeds energy security across the world.
Secretary General of the African Petroleum Producers Organization, APO, Dr. Umar Farouk Ibrahim drew attention to the need to industrialize in Africa.
As well as the bystanders, do not collectively act fast to end or drastically reduce emissions, to agree to establish a climate fund for loss and damage.
Still on the ongoing African Energy Week 2023 in Cape Town, South Africa, Value Chain TV's Ibrahim Usman brings you a cocktail of saints behind the actual spotlight.
It was music, dance, and the thrills in between as the night crept in colorfully in the Rainbow Nation. Participants shared themselves of jet lag ahead of the opening ceremonies, burning out their stress from journeys across the continent. Setting the tone for the broader conversations, a technical session led by Siva Parasad of Restart Energy appraised the status of OPEC African member nations. Libya, Angola, and Nigeria were up for mentions. Parasad noted that despite Nigeria's many challenges hindering optimal oil production, the Petroleum Industry Act is a leveler for the industry, while other producing nations like Angola, Equatorial Guinea, Gabon, and Congo have equally shown prospects for steady growth. Just before the message from Parasad will sink, attention at the formal opening ceremony had shifted outside to acknowledge the protesters whose messages must be heard. Ibrahim Usman reporting for Value Chain TV.
Nigeria's headline inflation rate has increased to 26.72% in September 2023. According to the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) in its Consumer Price Index (CPI) and inflation report for September, which was released in Abuja. The increases were observed in food and non-alcoholic beverages at 13.84, as well as housing, water, electricity, gas, and other fuel at 4.47%. Among other items, the report.
National Bureau of Statistics has said that the Nigerian headline inflation rate has increased by 0.92% to 26.72% in September 2023. This increase is largely influenced by the increase in the price of food and the increase in the price of petroleum. We are out here to find out the current price of food.
The price of the fish before, like this one, where they see so, sometimes that time we they buying 25,000 naira. but now they buy almost 45,000 naira because of the fuel succeed.
Tomatoes now is 35, but like this one we see here, 35. I get the original part, this one they sell 4,000, 4,500. But it's this pepper now in the hot way. This pepper now 2,000 naira. But I get the other one, that long one, Shambo, at the salam, 2,000 naira. Onions, so onions 35. Now it costs.
This rubber now is 400 naira. Like this one now, them put now is 300, 200. Everything now is cost. Like this one now we used to buy last year. Last year is basket. This basket now is 500. Some they used to sell it 300. But now, if you don't have 2,000 naira or 3,000, you will not buy pepper.
Last month is better by this month. This month is costing per last month. Last month is cheap per this month. This month now, Mudu now is 1.5. We're selling 1.5, we're selling 1.4. Thing is cost now. Plantain is 4,000, 3,000. Before it's 2,000 per bunch.
As heard from Nigerian food marketers and customers, the prices of food is on the increase, and it is anticipated that food prices will increase even more before the end of this year. People have even called on the government to intervene in the situation of Nigerians. I am Adal Biogwejofor, reporting for Value Chain TV.
The federal government is considering a fresh loan of $400 million from the World Bank to fund its conditional cash transfer program to 15 million households. The loan is part of measures being taken to reduce the hardships imposed on Nigerians by the removal of fuel subsidy. So far, this brings government borrowing to $1.2 billion. A loan of about $800 million has been secured earlier for the same purpose. Value Chain TV asked some Nigerians their take on the development.
That's not the problem. The problem are the perpetrators. The money will be given, but those who are supposed to get the money cannot get it. It will go into somebody's pocket. That's the problem in Nigeria. That's one thing with them. But had it been they can disburse the money accurately, everybody will benefit from the money that they are going to share.
Nigeria don't need to borrow again because the borrowing is of no use. After borrowing all this money, the people, they say they want to use it for palliative, which is not going to be possible. They just borrow to share this money. So I think for me, it is not necessary for Nigeria to borrow again.
A civil society group has staged a protest today in the nation's capital, Abuja, rejecting the appointment of the newly appointed executive chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Mr. Ola Olukoyede. In a petition addressed to the Senate President and made available to Value Chain TV, the group's National Secretary Adebayo Lion Ogori accused President Bola Tinubu for violation of extant laws of the EFCC by appointing Mr. Olukoyede. He emphasized that the appointment is a breach of the provisions of the laws of Parliament and is contrary to the President's oath to protect and defend the laws of the nation.
We are gathered here today to submit a petition to the Senate against the appointment of Mr. Ola Olukoyede as chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. He was suspended from office. And we gathered that he and some indicted principal officers were never reabsorbed back to the commission.
Thanks for watching Value Chain News Update. I'm Nimana Bagudu.